Hello? Today we look back at 15 women who once lit up Hollywood's golden age, icons whose beauty and talent defined an era. Behind the glamour, these women faced immense pressure and private pain, their lives shaped by an unforgiving industry. This isn't about gossip, but about the human cost of fame and the resilience behind the legends. We'll explore how time, illness, and the weight of stardom changed the faces the world adored. Let's begin, honoring not just the stars, but the remarkable women behind them. Judy Garland, a name synonymous with talent, charisma, and a voice that could captivate millions. Even now, decades after her passing, her performances continue to resonate with audiences worldwide. The world saw her as America's sweetheart, a beacon of hope and joy during challenging times. Her portrayal of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz cemented her status as an icon, forever linking her to the promise of a better world, somewhere over the rainbow. But behind the scenes, a far more complex and troubling reality was unfolding. She was relentlessly pushed into addiction by the very studio system that profited from her talent, a dark underbelly of the golden age of Hollywood. As a teenager, barely out of childhood, she was given amphetamines to energize her for grueling 18-hour workdays and barbiturates to force her to sleep, a dangerous cocktail designed to keep her compliant and productive. This was a common practice in the studio system, but it had a devastating impact on Judy. The relentless pressure to be perfect, to maintain a flawless image both on and off screen, led to lifelong struggles with self-image and mental health. The studio's demands created a cycle of dependence and despair that would haunt her for the rest of her life. These struggles manifested in a long and difficult battle with substance abuse, a desperate attempt to cope with the immense pressure and emotional pain she endured. The bright smile the world saw masked a deep inner turmoil. Years of addiction, coupled with constant emotional turmoil, left visible marks, etching themselves onto her face and demeanor. The toll of her experiences was undeniable. Her youthful glow, once so radiant, gradually faded, replaced by a palpable sense of exhaustion and a deep-seated sadness that seemed to permeate her very being. The sparkle in her eyes dimmed with each passing year. By her 40s, Garland's health and overall appearance had deteriorated dramatically, a stark contrast to the vibrant young woman who had captured the hearts of a nation. The years of abuse had taken their toll. The very industry that had built her up into a star, that had profited immensely from her talent, also played a significant role in breaking her down, ultimately dimming a once vibrant spirit and contributing to her tragic end. Her story serves as a stark and cautionary reminder of the hidden costs associated with Hollywood's relentless expectations and the often unseen sacrifices made in the pursuit of fame and fortune. It's a story that demands we look beyond the glitz and glamour and acknowledge the human cost. Marilyn Monroe, a name synonymous with Hollywood glamour, was far more than just a pretty face. She was a cultural phenomenon, an icon whose image was plastered across magazines and captivated the hearts of millions. Her presence transcended the silver screen. Her beauty and allure were legendary, a carefully constructed image that defined an era of Hollywood's golden age. She embodied the ideal of feminine charm and desirability. But behind the dazzling smile and captivating performances, the pressure to maintain her image, to constantly live up to the expectations of the world, was crushing. It was a burden she carried with her every day. Behind the glamour and the carefully crafted persona, Monroe battled crippling anxiety, bouts of depression that would leave her isolated, and a desperate, lifelong need for genuine acceptance and love. Prescription drugs, readily available in that era, became her temporary escape, a means to cope with the relentless pressures and emotional turmoil that plagued her. But these offered only fleeting relief, and they ultimately took a devastating toll on her physical and mental health, subtly eroding her radiant looks and vibrant spirit. In her final years, the once seemingly boundless, radiant energy that defined Marilyn Monroe began to visibly fade, dimmed by the weight of her struggles. Her face, once a symbol of carefree joy, now showed the deep strain of inner turmoil, a reflection of the battles she fought in private. The world tragically lost her far too soon at the young age of 36, a life extinguished before its time. Her unparalleled beauty and promising life were both cut tragically short, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and profound sadness. Monroe's heartbreaking decline was inextricably linked to the immense pressure and isolation that came with being the world's most famous and desired woman. Her story serves as a haunting and cautionary testament to the often unseen price of fame, a stark reminder that even the brightest stars can be consumed by the darkness within. Elizabeth Taylor was Hollywood royalty, her violet eyes unforgettable. From child star to leading lady, her beauty was matched only by her resilience. Taylor endured countless health crises, broken bones, surgeries, and chronic pain. Illness and addiction changed her appearance, her once slender figure becoming fuller, her face marked by survival. The press scrutinized every change, but Taylor's spirit never dimmed. In later years, confined to a wheelchair, she remained a symbol of courage. Her beauty evolved, telling a story of endurance rather than decline. Taylor's legacy is one of strength in the face of relentless adversity. Rita Hayworth, the love goddess, captivated the world with her sensuality and grace. Behind the allure was a shy, troubled woman, her struggles masked by her on-screen persona. Early-onset Alzheimer's, misdiagnosed for years, slowly stole her memories and her identity. The disease's toll was gradual but devastating, her expressive face fading into confusion. In her final years, Hayworth was a shadow of her former self, cared for by her daughter. Her decline was not just the loss of beauty, but of self, a cruel erasure by illness. Hayworth's story is a poignant reminder of the fragility behind the legend. Hedy Lamarr's beauty was legendary, but her mind was just as remarkable. Hollywood typecast her, valuing her looks over her intellect. Fearing the loss of her beauty, Lamarr turned to early plastic surgery, which ultimately distorted her features. The procedures left her unrecognizable, and she withdrew from public life. Lamarr's brilliance endured, but the world fixated on her changing face. Her story warns of the dangers of chasing eternal youth in a world obsessed with appearances. Lamarr was a visionary, her true legacy far deeper than her looks. Bette Davis was never a conventional beauty. Her power was in her fierce, expressive eyes. She embraced aging on screen, letting her life's battles show. Later, illness struck. Cancer and strokes left her face partially paralyzed. The transformation was dramatic, her iconic features altered by health crises. Yet Davis returned to acting, undaunted by her changed appearance. Her beauty faded, but her indomitable spirit shone brighter than ever. Davis's legacy is not in lost looks, but in her relentless strength. She redefined what it meant to be a star. Joan Crawford embodied Hollywood ambition, meticulously crafting her image. Aging became her greatest fear, leading to obsessive routines and cosmetic procedures. Heavy makeup and surgery hardened her once luminous beauty. A candid photo in her later years devastated her. She withdrew from public life, unable to face the world as anything less than perfect. Crawford's story is one of a star consumed by the pursuit of eternal glamour. Her retreat was a final act of control in a life defined by image. The loss of her beauty was for her an unbearable defeat. Ava Gardner's beauty was raw and untamed. Her life lived on her own terms. Years of hard living, smoking, drinking, and late nights eventually caught up with her. Strokes left her partially paralyzed. Her once vibrant face altered and spirit diminished. Gardner spent her final years in seclusion. Her legendary looks faded by illness and time. Her decline was a slow, painful process, marked by regret and isolation. Gardner's story is a cautionary tale of indulgence and the inevitability of change. Her legacy endures as a symbol of both passion and vulnerability. Lana Turner, the sweater girl, was the epitome of Hollywood glamour. Behind the facade, her life was marked by scandal, heartbreak, and addiction. Personal tragedies and alcoholism left deep marks, her beauty eroded by sorrow and stress. Heavy makeup in later years couldn't hide the toll of time and illness. Throat cancer further ravaged her appearance, the symbol of youthful vitality transformed by hardship. Turner's story is one of resilience amid relentless adversity. Her face became a testament to every heartbreak she endured. Veronica Lake's peekaboo hairstyle made her a sensation in the 1940s. Her career was brief, derailed by mental illness and alcoholism. After Hollywood turned its back, Lake faded into obscurity, working menial jobs to survive. Years of addiction left her looking far older than her age, her iconic beauty lost. A brief resurgence couldn't restore her health or stardom. Lake died at 50, her decline a stark contrast to her early fame. Her story is a sobering reminder of how quickly Hollywood forgets. The loss of her beauty mirrored the loss of her place in the world. Jean Harlow was Hollywood's first blonde bombshell, her look sparking a national craze. At the height of her fame, she was struck by sudden illness, end-stage kidney failure. Her vibrant beauty vanished almost overnight, her body ravaged by disease. Harlow died at just 26, her career and life cut tragically short. The loss of her beauty was swift and shocking, a prelude to her untimely death. Harlow's legacy is one of brilliance extinguished too soon. Her story is a reminder of life's fragility, even for the brightest stars. Greta Garbo, a name synonymous with cinematic allure, was an enigma, a figure shrouded in mystery and captivating beauty. She remains one of Hollywood's most elusive stars. Her beauty and mystique were legendary, captivating audiences worldwide. Her face, a study in contrasts, could convey both vulnerability and strength, drawing viewers into her world. She possessed an ethereal quality that set her apart from her contemporaries. At 36, a time when many actresses were still at the peak of their careers, she retired at the height of her fame, a decision that shocked the world and cemented her status as an iconoclast. Garbo famously declared, "I want to be alone," choosing privacy over the relentless glare of public scrutiny and the demands of Hollywood. This desire for solitude became a defining characteristic. Garbo, acutely aware of the fleeting nature of youth and beauty, feared aging in the unforgiving spotlight, a fear that perhaps fueled her decision to withdraw from public life. She was determined to preserve her image, preferring to let her on-screen persona, her carefully crafted image, remain frozen in time, untouched by the inevitable effects of age. For decades, the world, willingly or not, remembered her as eternally youthful, the radiant star of classic films, forever young and beautiful in the collective memory. However, rare and often unflattering photos that surfaced in later years revealed a woman changed by time, a stark contrast to the glamorous image she had cultivated. The carefully constructed divine image, the myth of Garbo, was inevitably replaced by the reality of a woman aging gracefully but undeniably changed. Garbo's self-imposed retreat, her carefully guarded private life, was ultimately her way of controlling her legacy, shaping the narrative of her life and career on her own terms. The perceived loss of her youthful beauty was simply the inevitable passage of time, a natural process that affects us all. Natural, inevitable, and, most importantly, on her own terms, a testament to her independent spirit. Her legend endures, a testament to her talent and mystique, shaped as much by her absence from the public eye as by her unforgettable presence on the silver screen. Her legacy remains a captivating blend of talent, beauty, and carefully cultivated mystery. Gloria Swanson was the queen of silent film glamour. She reinvented herself repeatedly, but her most iconic role was Norma Desmond, a faded star desperate for the spotlight. Swanson embraced aging with theatrical flair, her later years marked by health advocacy and resilience. The lines on her face became part of her story, not a tragedy, but a transformation. Swanson's legacy is one of reinvention and acceptance. She showed that beauty's loss need not be a defeat. Her life was a performance, right to the end. Mae West built her career on wit, confidence, and a refusal to conform. She denied aging, maintaining her persona with heavy makeup and flamboyant style well into old age. In her final films, the effect was jarring, an elderly woman clinging to youth. Critics called it camp, but West remained unfazed, insisting she was still the Diamond Lil of legend. Her story is not one of decline, but of defiance, a lifelong performance against time itself. West's willpower was her greatest legacy. She never let go of the image she created. Vivien Leigh's beauty was delicate and refined, her talent undeniable. Beneath the surface, she battled bipolar disorder and tuberculosis. Mental illness and physical frailty took a visible toll, her face marked by suffering. Electroshock therapy and constant turmoil left her looking older than her years. Leigh's decline mirrored her most famous role, fragile, haunted, and ultimately broken. Her beauty faded, but her artistry and vulnerability remain unforgettable. Leigh's story is one of brilliance under siege. She was both a symbol of grace and a portrait of pain. These women's stories are far more complex than their glamorous images suggest. Hollywood demanded perfection, but behind the facade were real struggles. Illness, addiction, heartbreak. Their legacies are deepened, not diminished, by the hardships they endured. Let's honor their resilience and humanity, not just their beauty. Share your memories and reflections with respect. Thank you for joining us in remembering these remarkable women.